All right, so this is the second video for topic 4. Wanted to split the videos up into smaller pieces because it was getting a little bit long. So if we look at the first one, we've got a lot going on. I see parentheses, so the first thing that I want to do is get rid of them by using the distributive property. So my left side is going to stay the same for now. 2 times y is 2y, 3 times 2 is positive 6, minus 2. So before I even do anything, I want to combine like terms on the same side. So I have a positive 6 and a negative 2. I'm going to combine those. 6 minus 2 is positive 4. And in order to save room, I'm just going to change that to a positive 4 right here. Now this looks more familiar. So we want to get variables on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides. 7y minus 2y is 5y minus 1, and 2y minus 2y is 0, plus 4 is 4. Now I need to get my numbers on the other, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides because that's the opposite operation. And I'm left with 5y equals 4 plus 1, which is 5. When I divide both sides by the coefficient, since it's the opposite of multiplication, I get y equals 1. Right, if we look at the next example, we have variables on both sides. So I'm going to move the 4c over so that I can keep a positive coefficient. So because I've subtracted a 4c, the opposite would be to add a 4c. So I get negative 7 equals negative 4c plus 4c cancels out, and then 3c plus 4c is 7c minus 7. Since I moved my variables from left to right, I'm going to move my numbers from right to left. In order to do the opposite operation, I must add 7, and whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. Those cancel out to get 0, so I still have 7c on the right. But then negative 7 plus 7 is 0. And that's okay. I can keep going. In order to get c by itself, I must divide by 7. And then I'm going to divide 0 by 7 too. 0 divided by 7, we can do that. 0 divided by 7 is 0. And 7c divided by 7 is c. So we can get 0 as a solution for our variable. That's okay, as long as it's 0 divided by a number. So if you were to plug it back into the original, if you plugged in 0, that term would cancel out, that term would cancel out, and you get negative 7 equals 7, which is true, so we know our answer is correct. If we look at the next sentence, it says some equations have no solution. The solution set is the null or empty set, which is represented by kind of like a 0 with a slash through it. So let's take a look at this example. We need to use the distributive property here. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. That's equal to 4 plus 2x. If we want to move our variables, we need to get our x's on the same side. So because this is a positive 2x, I'm going to subtract. And we might start to see where a problem's going to arise. That's going to cancel out. But on the other side, it also cancels out. We're left with negative 2 equals 4. And I don't really know where you live, but no matter where you are, that statement is never true. Negative 2 is never equal to 4, so we're going to put that 0 with a slash through it. That means no solution. When you get a statement that is false, it's just wrong, we hate it, it's never true, so we have no solution. If we look at our third example, it's kind of like the opposite. Other equations have every number as a solution. The solution set is all real numbers. Such an equation is called an identity, and the solution is all real numbers. So if we go ahead and look at it, we need to, again, distribute. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. When we go ahead and move our variables to get them on the same side, let's move our 2x over to the right. We need to use the opposite, so we get that to cancel to 0. We get 2 equals 2, and then negative 2x and positive 2x go to 0 as well. We're left with this statement. 2 is always equal to 2, so that's true. In that case, our answer is all real numbers. If you get a statement that is true all the time, all real numbers is the solution. We can write that by this fancy little R. It's kind of like an R with another line through it, if you're a lazy mathematician like me. And if you guys want, I'm not going to do it on this video, but if you plug in one number for this x and the same number, because x is the same, you're going to get a true statement. It's going to be a solution. So you can play around with that if you want, but just know that you can always have one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions, which is when it's all real numbers. All right, thank you, and go for the U tries.